it's Crystal from Yarn Creations, and I am back with another crochet stitch tutorial. So in this video I am going to show you how to do the thermal stitch. So you see that I have two different strands here. The reason that I'm using the two strands is because even though I'm just going to show you how to get started with this stitch or how to do this stitch, you can actually continue carrying on with each row to make a thermal stitch pot holder or hot pad, however you call it. But yeah, so I mean, the thermal stitch can also be used with just a single strand. Even if you were using like a bulkier yarn, one strand would be good because it's going to give it that thickness. Okay, so you'll see what I mean. I should have brought my sample pot holder, but I don't think I can reach it. I did post a picture of it on my page in the post section there if you want to refer to it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start out by doing our chain. So we need to do a slip stitch. Oh, and I am using my 6.5mm hook. I know it's shocking. I'm always using my 5, but I think it just because we're using two strands of yarn, it's a little easier to work with a bigger hook. Okay, so I am going to chain 20. Whoop. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then I want to chain one more. Because our pattern, when we get going along, we'll actually only be working with the 20 stitches across, but so that we can get to that, we need to chain another one. So you would actually do a chain of 21. Okay, so now we're just going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and we're going to do that all the way across. And if you're not sure how to do the single crochet, you can go back to my videos, because I do have videos on beginner stitches, or beginner stitches for beginners. Okay. I think we're just gonna single crochet all the way across, so we'll have 20 stitches in total. So I'm just gonna pause, and then we'll skip forward to the end. Okay, so I've done the 20 single crochets all the way across. So now we're going to chain one, and then we're going to turn our work. Okay, so now we're going to work into the back loops. So when I say back loops, so you know when you look at the top of your stitch, and normally we pass through underneath there. Well, for this particular stitch, we're going to work just in this back loop here. So just in this back, just right there, we're going to go in through the center, and we're just going to single crochet all the way across again, but we're working in those back loops. Again, just in the back loops there. And if you haven't used two strands of yarn before together, you might want to try this stitch with just one strand so you can kind of get the hang of it. Because as you've seen me, I even kind of end up slipping off one of the strands. So it's just a little bit different to work with. It is, you know, it's a lot thicker because you have twice the yarn there. And the other thing with this particular stitch too is that it does use up a lot of yarn. It's one of those stitches that people refer to as like a yarn eater. So yeah, so we're just going to continue working along into the back loops all the way across. Just a few more stitches to go. Okay, we're almost there. So we have the last one here. Okay, so that's just one more row done there. We're going to move on to the next one. So we're going to need to chain one again. So we're still going to work into the back loops and we're still just doing a single crochet. But when we did that last row and we only worked in the back loops, it kind of brings, as you can see here in the front, oh, get my camera to focus there, kind of creates a bit of this ridge. Well, that's your front loops from the previous row. We're actually going to be working into those. So when we turn our work, that front, those front stitches are on this side. So we're actually going to go into the back loop, and then we're also going to go into the front loop of that last row that we did. And again, we're just single crocheting. So once more, we're going to go into this back loop, but then we're going to go into the front loop from that previous row. So it looks like this. So as you can see, as you go along here, just to kind of give you more of a visual as we go, these are the stitches that we're going to be working into across. Okay, so again, back loop of this stitch for this row, but then we're going to go through into that front loop from the previous row. So you can see the thickness that we're getting here now with this stitch, which is why they call it the thermal. Okay, so again, sometimes it might be easier to kind of hold your work this way so you can see where you're going, to have it kind of work sideways, I guess. So I'm just kind of give you a little bit more of a visual there. So that's our back loop of our row that we're working on, and that's the front loop of the previous row that we did. And we're just doing the basic single crochet. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple more times. Again, into the back loop of this row and into the front loop of that previous row. Okay. And it's just a single crochet. Okay, I'm just going to pause it here, and I'm just going to keep doing that all the way across, and we'll come to the end again, and I'll show you just the starting of the next row. Okay, so I just kind of I have the last 2 stitches to do here because I just kind of wanted to show you that very last stitch gets to be a little tricky because that front loop kind of gets hidden in there. So that's our second last stitch. And then for our last stitch, it can get a little tricky. You kind of have to work your way through because this here is the back loop that I want to get into. Okay, so I'm in through the back loop of the row we're working on, and then that's the front loop from the previous row. Okay. And that's all there is to it, and then you're just going to continue again onto your next row. You're going to chain 1, you're going to turn, you're going to work in the back loop, and then you're going to work into the front loop. Once you do the first couple stitches of the row, it kind of starts to pull it so that it's a little bit closer together for you. And you know, once you get the hang of it, you kind of just know where your hook needs to go. Again, you know, with using the double yarn, it is a lot thicker. As you can see, we have this thickness going on. There's that first row, you know, it's hard to tell. But as you get going here, it's going to get thicker and thicker. But yeah, that is the thermal stitch, working in the back loops and the front loops. It just gives it that nice thickness, so that it makes it really good to use for hot pads or pot holders. So I hope you enjoyed the video or the stitch tutorial, and stay tuned for more videos to come. And thank you for all the likes and comments and following my page. I've enjoyed doing this, so thank you.